Political pickups, practical policy, and hoop happenings. All this and more as the Stafford Weekly News starts now. Welcome to the Friday, February 27th edition of the Stafford Weekly News. I'm Randall Williams. The Fort Bend Voter Education Coalition held an event Valentine's Day weekend that they called Speed Dating with Candidates. Mal Morales attended, and here's his first few dates.
Forget the traditional candlelight dinner. This Valentine's weekend was all about speed dating your next elected official. The Fort Bend Voter Education Coalition hosted their Vote with Your Valentine event in Missouri City this past Saturday. The setup gave residents quick, personal FaceTime to find their perfect match for the ballot box before heading to the polls. Kicking off the conversations was Congressman Al Green, who is now running for the new District 18, and reminded voters that a proven track record is the best metric when making a decision.
Together we can stand. Divided we will fall. I want everybody's vote, including the young and the old. When I grew up, I was told, if you get a good education, well, I have a JD. That's a law degree. And if you keep yourself clean, not been arrested, well, yes, I have. John Lewis and I have been arrested 2 times together. We were protesting. So I've got to tell you that I've been in good trouble. I've been in good trouble. Go to the polls in large numbers. You choose a candidate that you want to vote for. But I can tell you this, I'm not running on what I will do. I'm a have-done candidate. I'm running on what I have done, and if you look at what I have done, then you can make your decision. If you're going to base it on reputation, base it upon record and not rhetoric. I'm not running on rhetoric. I'm not running on polls, except the polls that I will take on March the 3rd.
While federal representation brings a broad perspective, Jeffrey Boney, candidate for Fort Bend County Treasurer, stressed that local government is where residents feel the biggest daily impact.
Hey, what's up everybody? Jeffrey L. Boney here. For the last 8 years, I've been city councilman in the city of Missouri City, and now I'm running to be your next Fort Bend County Treasurer. Civic engagement is extremely important. Events like this give us the opportunity to hear from you, find out what your concerns are, also answer the tough questions or any questions that will help you better understand how important all of these roles are. Local government is what impacts us all the most. Most times we think about the president or the governor, but all of the people that are at the local level, local being your municipalities like you in Stafford, me in Missouri City, also at the county level. You pay taxes to all these entities, and you have to have representation. You don't want to have taxation without representation. And so I'm here looking to represent you as the Fort Bend County Treasurer. If your money is mismanaged, if your money is not taken care of, then it impacts the direct services that you receive as residents, as citizens, as taxpayers. And so it's up to me to make sure our internal controls are strong and strengthened, that there are no fraud issues, and that we are modernized to make sure we connect this office to the community so that you better understand what's happening with all of your tax dollars and all of the revenue that we receive as a county. Again, I'm Jeffrey L. Boney, and I'm running to be your next Fort Bend County Treasurer. Serving in the role as Fort Bend County Treasurer is an extremely important role. Not only are we responsible for safeguarding our money, serving as the county baker, being a liaison between the financial institutions and the county, but we also are responsible for investments. We're also responsible for payroll, making sure that all of our employees are paid on time, making sure all of our vendors are paid, and we collect money for all of the entities, whether it's the Fort Bend County Drainage District or the Fort Bend County Toll Road Authority and many more. We're responsible for making sure that those things happen. Again, I have experience in this. I'm a former bank executive for over 11 years for the 6th largest bank in the United States, overseeing hundreds of millions of dollars in deposits and investments in loan portfolios, managing multiple locations, multiple employees. So this is right in my wheelhouse. I was the chair of the Finance Committee for Missouri City, Texas, served for 4 terms, elected and re-elected twice unopposed. So the people believe in my leadership. They know that I'm qualified and capable to serve in this role. I've served in many other capacities at the highest level nationally and regionally with the Houston-Galveston Area Council, serving on the board, chairing their audit committee, being on their finance and budget committee. So I have a vast experience and resume that makes me perfect for this role. But more importantly, we need to modernize, we need to upgrade, we need to connect this office to the community, and I'm here to do that. Jeffrey L. Boney for Fort Bend County Treasurer.
Stephen Longoria, running for County Court at Law, number 6, pointed out how valuable these direct one-on-one interactions are for understanding the justice system.
My name is Stephen Longoria, and I'm running for Fort Bend County Court at Law number 6. I'm running on 32 years of experience in criminal, juvenile, and civil law. That's exactly what these courts handle. So today I'm at the Landmark Center where some young ladies have put together a meet and greet. They called it a speed dating since it's Valentine's Day, and get a chance to meet your individuals, candidates that are running for office, whether it's judges, county judge, or the U.S. or state reps. I think these are really important events because it gives the community an opportunity to meet these people on a one-on-one basis and ask them how they would make decisions, what's important to them, the values they have. So it's important to come to these events so you know who you need to be voting for. So when elected as County Court at Law number 6, again, I plan on using my 32 years experience in criminal, juvenile, and civil law to make it a better court moving forward for the community of Fort Bend County.
Sandy Ibanez, candidate for state representative in District 28, echoed that sentiment, noting that a quick conversation reveals much more than a campaign flyer ever could.
Hi, my name is Sandy Ibanez, and I'm running for state representative of Texas House District 28 in Fort Bend County. That includes cities like Fulshire, Simonton, Orchard, Needville, Beasley, Fleet, Richmond, Rosenberg, and Sugar Land. Attending events that are civically empowering and educational is very important because it gives constituents a chance to get to know candidates and ask them questions one-on-one as opposed to just reading what's on their website. You actually get to meet the candidate, get a sense for who they are, and also listen to some of their priorities for their hopeful win. So as a teacher in Fort Bend County, something that I really want to focus on is public education and fully funding our public schools and supporting our teachers and the staff that make up our public schools.
Here's Mal's next few speed dates with candidates.
We are continuing our coverage of the Fort Bend Voter Education Coalitions as residents move from table to table for their quick one-on-one conversations. A clear theme emerged from several of the candidates: modernizing government and bringing it directly to the table. For Maria T. Jackson, a retired state district court judge running for Fort Bend County Clerk, keeping up with the county's rapid growth means fixing administrative systems that have fallen behind.
Hey everybody, I'm Judge Maria T. Jackson, running to be your next Fort Bend County Clerk. It's so important for you to come out and get to know your voters, and this forum for the Fort Bend VEC, Vote Your Valentine, and this is where I am. And I'm a retired state district court judge of 18 years, and before that I was an educator for at-risk youth. And now I also wrote the arrest, search, and seizure program for the Houston Police Department. So what I do, I'm a fixer. There are 3 things that I want to do as your Fort Bend County Clerk. First, protect your records and safeguard your identity through my cybersecurity training. Second, modernize the outdated systems to keep pace with the fast-growing Fort Bend. And third, I want to create a truly user-friendly clerk's office that works for all people, not just a few. And that's why I'm running to be your next Fort Bend County Clerk. Thank you.
That push for modernization was echoed by Iris Lewis, candidate for Fort Bend County District Clerk.
Hi, my name is Iris Lewis and I'm running for the Fort Bend County District Clerk. Events like these are so important to make sure that we, as candidates, are able to explain what our vision is and also what our mission is to make sure that you are well informed when voting for candidates into office. because at the end of the day, the candidates work for you. And we want to make certain that we hear your voice, but also that you can hear what our vision, to make sure we are in alignment with what needs to be done with the community. So with me running for the Fort Bend County District Clerk, I want to make certain that we are in alignment with your vision and also your expectation of what we should be doing as public servants. For me running for the Fort Bend County District Clerk, the one thing I want to be able to bring forth is innovation. I want to make certain that we are being innovative, modernizing our system to make sure we are user-friendly, but we have a positive working relationship with the legal community and the public. I firmly believe that we have to increase our community engagement to make certain that we are being involved in the community in areas that we have normally have not been in spaces that we have not normally visited. We need to go to the local churches, to the schools. We need to make sure we are in the community to hear what you all have to say. We need the feedback. We need to have group discussions to make sure we are meeting the demands and also the needs of the community. Also being able to have attorneys and also the legal community be involved with focus groups. Let's see how we can improve our job. What areas that we're doing good? What areas that we need to make improvements in? So for me, I want to make certain that we are transparent, but we're restoring the integrity and also restoring the trust of the public and also the legal community. My name is Iris Lewis, and I'm running for the Fort Bend County District Clerk. And I'm here to make sure that we are being innovative, forward-thinking, and also transformative in our approach to continue to make sure that Fort Bend grow as it always has been. Thank you.
Taking those local everyday concerns to the state level is exactly what Christina Lowndy aims to do.
Hi, my name is Christina Lowndy, and I am running for Texas House District 28. I am a mom of two, I am a working parent, and I am someone that's really concerned about how state policy decisions impact my community. I'm here at Vote With Your Valentine, which has been put on by the Fort Bend Voters Education Coalition, which has been really great. It's been very informative, and these events are so important because as candidates, what we're tasked with is listening first to our community. The only way that we are able to affect change for our communities is if we hear what actually is impacting families. That way we can take those voices wherever we need to take them. In my case, that would be Austin. So it's really important that these events are hosted. It's really important that we have that opportunity to interact with our voters. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this event, and I look forward to being in more to come. For me, my priority is all about working families, and that really starts with education. My main priority is to bring more state dollars into our public schools. Whenever we strengthen our schools, we also strengthen families, and that's how we can build strong, resilient communities that can weather any sort of events, that they can be a beacon of change that others can emulate in the future. So that's why I want to run, and that's why I would love to earn your support. And I also want to say one more thank you to the Fort Bend Voters Education Coalition for putting on this event. Thank you.
And now let's wrap up our Valentine's voter education.
Wrapping up our coverage from the Fort Bend Voter Education Coalition Vote With Your Valentine event, the unique speed dating format allowed residents to connect directly with candidates across all levels of local government, from the courtroom to the commissioner's court. For Eddie Sajad, a candidate for Fort Bend County Judge, the interactive setup is a direct antidote to traditional politics. He noted that real voter education requires getting past rehearsed speeches.
I'm Eddie Sajad, and I'm running to be your next Fort Bend County Judge. So basically, my campaign's about the right ideas for Fort Bend. I'm a problem solver, and I create solutions using innovation and technology and out-of-the-box thinking. Now, the biggest problem being faced by our county right now is our revenue generation. Our revenue is below where it needs to be because we're not able to pay our people fair pay, we're not able to take care of our infrastructure needs, we're not able to grow and upkeep things for our county. Better parks, better services, better solutions, overall better county governance. And for that, you need innovation, you need ideas. And I'm an innovator by trait. I've worked with over 1,000 small business owners. I've worked with Fortune 500 companies and carried out projects that were over $100 million. And I've came up with actual solutions that can raise our revenue by $100 million every year that I'm in office. Now that goes a long way in taking care of all of our infrastructure needs, making sure we're protected from that river without having to worry about flooding, fixing our infrastructure to where we don't have to worry about power outages. I mean, come on, we're the energy capital of the world. Why should we have power outages? Again, my name is Eddie Sajjad, and I'm running to be your next Fort Bend County Judge. So I want to say my heartfelt thank you to Fort Bend VEC for putting this together. Voter education is very near and dear to my heart. And I believe that the right way to educate people is for them to be able to go into interactive conversations with their constituents. So this is a wonderful thought process that, hey, speed dating, talk to your people, talk to the people that are running, get to know them, get to know the real them, not just words that they have memorized or speeches that they have memorized, but actual interactivity. Get to know the fact that, hey, I'm a father of two, 10-year-old son, 6-year-old daughter. Been living here for 28 years in Fort Bend County, right? Married for 13 years. I'm a person that likes to go, I'm spiritual. I'm an active member of my mosque. I'm an active member of our community, and Fort Bend's my home. Well, Siena's my home specifically, but Fort Bend's my home. Missouri City's my home. And I believe that what they're doing in Fort Bend VEC as far as voter education is going to go a long way of actually interacting and getting to know the people that you're going to be actually voting for, right? Not just some signs or some speeches that you've heard. So I really, really heartfelt thank you, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Getting to know the real person behind the campaign was a major theme of the morning. Brittany Morris, running for Commissioner of Precinct 4, said that a mailer or a yard sign can never replace a face-to-face conversation about vital community needs.
Hello everyone, my name is Brittany Morris. I am a former judge, a local business owner, and a current attorney. I am running to be your next Commissioner of Precinct 4, right here in Fort Bend County. It's very important for candidates and constituents in this area to come out to these events. So many times you see our signs, you may get our mailers, but you don't get the opportunity to sit with us, learn about our platform, learn us as people, and relate to us. More importantly, you don't get to hear our platform and what we plan to do to serve you, the members of Fort Bend County. So please come out to any civic engagement event that's in your area, your neighborhood, or in Fort Bend County as a whole, so you can meet the people who are running and asking for your vote in this upcoming election. Without that, you will not be an informed voter at the polls, and that is extremely important. So many times elections are lost by people not voting. So you must vote all the way down the ballot for every single candidate. And the best way to do that is to be informed, meet us, learn about our platform, and visit our website if you're unable to come out. So one of the big things in my platform that I have always advocated for is a county hospital. If you don't know, Fort Bend County does not have a county hospital, and we don't have a level 1 trauma center. From day one, that will be something I get to work on, trying to make happen. That is extremely important. Not only will it bring jobs to our area, it will also help those who are underinsured or not insured at all access the health care that they really need. There's tons of initiatives I want to bring forward, like animal welfare, making sure we get our animals spayed and neutered. There is money in the budget for that, so I want to make sure it goes to the right places. I want to make sure infrastructure is taken care of. We cannot forget about the older parts of Fort Bend County that routinely flood when there is a strong rain or a hurricane or something like that. You should not lose your house, and you shouldn't lose a paycheck because you can't get to work because you're flooded in. So these are projects that I want to champion to make sure we take care of the Fort Bend County, particularly Precinct 4 constituents that take care of their government.
Being informed is especially critical when voting for the bench. Judge Latasha McGill-Clayton is running for the newly created 501st District Court. She urges voters to do their research before heading to the polls.
Hello and greetings. I am Judge Latasha McGill-Clayton, and I am the current Associate Judge of the 505th District Court. But I am also a candidate for the new 501st District Court, running to be the first elected judge of the 501st District Court. I am currently at a candidates event, and it is so important to go to the polls educated about who you are voting for. And as far as this candidate forum is concerned, this provides us with all of the education that's needed, because you actually get to speak to the candidates that will actually be on your ballot. And so I am going to emphasize to please do your research regarding the ballot, regarding the candidates on the ballot, before you go to the polls so that you can make an educated decision. The position in which I am running for as judge is very important. What I do right now is I make important decisions regarding families. A judge's position is very important because once we put our signature on an order regarding families, then it becomes an order that has to be followed. Now, there are some other things that can be done if you don't agree with that order, but we change the lives of families every day. And so it's so important to have someone in that position who is qualified, who knows the law, who is compassionate about families. As a former teacher, I am compassionate about families. And as the current associate judge in that particular court, I make decisions every day that affect families, which are fair, impartial, and most important, follows the rule of law. So I encourage you to get out there, get educated, come out and vote, and make an educated vote. Latasha McGill Clayton for the 501st District Court. Thank you.
Whether evaluating infrastructure plans or family law, the VEC proved that a healthy community starts with a well-informed ballot. For Stafford Weekly News, I'm Mal Morales.
The order of orders, next. Here's something you may not know. When you look at your ballot, the names of candidates aren't just arranged by chance. There is a process. It's not fancy, but it works.
On Friday, February 20th, the City of Stafford held its ballot order drawing for the May 2nd general election. A City of Stafford employee was randomly selected to pick names out of a hat, which chose the order that Stafford City Council candidates will be placed on the ballot for voting. The results of the drawing were, for City Council position number 5, Xavier Herrera will be placed first on the ballot, and Frank R. Heathcock will be placed second. For City Council position number 6, Tim Wood will be placed first on the ballot, and Kenneth W. Grant Jr. will be placed second. The drawing ensured impartiality when choosing the position of candidates on the ballot, which is imperative in elections. To ensure no bias was involved, the city employee was chosen completely at random, and the event was open to the public. The city employee chose from 2 slips of covered paper in each hat, with the first name chosen going first on the ballot. Witnesses included 2 members of the City of Stafford's Administration Department, 1 member of the Multimedia Communications Department, and 2 members of the Code Compliance Department. The Stafford general election will be held on Saturday, May 2nd, and will include City Council candidates for positions 5 and 6. It will also include SMSD board member candidates for positions 6 and 7. Early voting will be held from April 20th through April 28th. Also, as a reminder, the Texas State primary election is next week on Tuesday, March 3rd. Stafford City Hall will be open on March 3rd as a voting location from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Stafford City Hall is not an early voting location for the primary election.
Okay, enough about politics. It's time for basketball.
Playoff basketball is all about the atmosphere. The Stafford Spartans traveled to Katy to face the Sealy Tigers in a high-stakes, win-or-go-home matchup. Right out of the gate, the Tigers set a blistering pace, winning the tip and taking it straight to the basket. Sealy found early success driving the lane. A quick Sealy three-pointer forced an early Stafford timeout. The Spartans huddled up to reset, but the Tigers maintained control, ending the first quarter with a 13-4 advantage.
Play, 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 play. You got this, that swagger. Display, that style, that focus. Unswayed.
The second quarter became a physical grind. Stafford went on the attack, drawing fouls and earning their points the hard way out of charity stripe. Kalia Dent, Kennedy Peel, and Madison Joseph all took hard drives to the paint to try and close the gap. Kalia Dent connected on a beautiful short jumper, but Sealy managed to beat the buzzer with a devastating 3, taking a 23-10 lead into the locker room. Coming out for the second half, the Tigers stayed hot and beyond the arc, extending their lead to 20. But the Spartans were just getting started. Stafford completely flipped the script. They carved up the press to feed Kaylin Thompson for the layup. Makia Williams followed up with a jumper, and then Kennedy Peel drained the massive three to slice the lead to 11. The bench was electric. That defensive energy translated instantly. Kalia Dent slashed through the lane for another crucial layup. The Spartans owned the glass down the stretch. Kaylin Thompson was an absolute force, grabbing rebounds and slamming home putbacks. A gorgeous dish from Dent to Thompson suddenly shrank Sealy's lead to just 6 points. Madison Joseph capitalized on a turnover and Makia Williams hit one last smooth jumper. They fought until the very last whistle, but time finally ran out on the comeback. Sealy takes it 46-38. A stellar hard-fought season for the Spartans.
For Stafford Weekly News, this is Mal Morales.
On Monday, February 23rd, the Stafford Spartans boys varsity basketball team took on the Giddings Buffaloes in the bi-district playoff game at Waller High School. The Spartans delivered a statement performance, overwhelming the Buffaloes in the matchup that showcased grit, depth, and championship-level poise. From the opening tip, Stafford set the tone with hot shooting from beyond the arc, relentless defensive pressure, and crisp ball movement. The Spartans jumped out to an early double-digit lead, fueled by fast break points, and more great shooting. After the first quarter of play, the Spartans were up 24-6, and they were just getting started. By halftime, they had built up a commanding 43-15 advantage that left little doubt about who controlled the game. The Spartans' defense proved especially dominant, forcing turnovers that quickly turned into points on the other end. Giddings struggled to find rhythm against Stafford's tight coverage and rebounding strength. The Stafford Spartans defeated the Giddings Buffaloes 83-30. The win not only advances Stafford but reinforces their reputation as a formidable postseason contender as they move on to take on the Gatesville Hornets at Caldwell High School on Friday, February 27th.
That's a wrap on our news for this week. Thank you for joining us. For everyone here at Stafford Weekly News, I'm Randall Williams. May all your news be good news.
This program was produced at City Hall of Stafford, Texas, in association with Houston City College.